Yes, yes. Welcome in. It's Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Timothy, Michael, McKernan, Jackson Burkett with you here on the program. Jackson's wearing a cute little stocking cap. You got the TMA cap, hat, beanie.
I call it a beanie.
You call it toque?
If I was in Canada, I'd call it a toque. But I call it a beanie.
And a 101 ESPN, what do you got there? Is that a quarter zip or a three-quarter zip?
This is a full zip. I think they call it a shell jacket. Really, really nice for the cold days. Throw it on over a hoodie. Really insulates yourself because, boy, is it cold out there,
Nice, Jackson. I walked in here, and they were talking hockey on the television above Jackson, but now I see Michael Bublé is being interviewed by Kelly Clarkson.
Hell yeah. Now we're talking. That's news.
And school closings. The hell's this? Is every school in town closed today? I'm just seeing this for the first time.
I would think a bunch are.
Is that right?
I would think plenty are, yeah. Why risk it? Build-in days? Why risk it?
All right. Oh, your father was a principal, right? So that.
Oh yeah, he knows.
You're coming from that.
Well, yeah, he was the misconception of like, well, we'll have to add more days on at the end of the year. They
built in. How many built in? Give me some inside word here.
I wish I could tell you the exact number.
Gecko me.
It's probably around 5 or 6 days.
Ooh, wow, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So then use it here because we're already on January 16th.
Yeah.
And haven't used any.
Right. You know, if one kid slips and falls on the way to the bus stop, you should have just canceled school, so why not just cancel it?
Okay, well, there it is. Now you got inside word. Balloon Party breaking more stories. Today we have the Little Piddles weekend wrap-up, and Jackson's going to give us 6 questions to really ponder. Is that what's going to happen here? While you text in 314-399-9646, Air Comfort Service text line, and, of course, the YouTube chat, I would imagine, is as active as the day is long. And that's the 101 ESPN channel on YouTube. Jackson, so why don't you go in there and see what's doing, because I know there. And then you can leave a mic drop, too, anytime you would like. Jackson, what do we got going on? What are you going to lead with here? Blues, Flyers, I guess?
No.
Oh. Missouri, South Carolina from 3 days ago?
No. Tough one. No, I'm going to lead off with the NFL.
Wow, okay.
NFL wildcard weekend. What a time to be alive. Cold, cold, cold. That was the theme. And while the weather outside might be frightful, some of the coaching was less than delightful. Cold outside? Well, some of these coaching seats are getting hot.
God.
Good to be back.
I feel like bile coming up my esophagus.
Why? Because you're
trying to one-up Orlovsky, who said the Cowboys need to remove everyone yesterday.
Well, if Orlovsky says it, the world hears it.
I agree.
And I'm just trying to get to that status. Who do you think is most liable to lose their post as head coach of their respective teams after the wild card weekend that was?
Okay, well, who would our choices be? We're going to say Sean McVay's safe.
I would think he is safe.
I can't imagine the Eagles removing Sirianni, even though I'm sure they're taking calls this morning. You think so?
Listen.
Wow. Listen. Look at I got Orlovsky working with me.
Little Orlovsky over here.
Oh, my God.
Listen, I'm not saying
they just won the NFC a year ago.
Yeah, but a fall from grace like this, and I have another question about that later on.
But they went to the playoffs.
Yeah, as Mike Francesa described, with a lack of inertia. You know, they had to be pushed in. But... wow. Someone's got to answer.
God, I wasn't ready for this. I guess now I know why the NFL's the lead.
Well,
somebody's building a resume reel here.
If you remember, Nick Sirianni, after they beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead, had a hell of a display where he was yelling at Chiefs fans, asking, how do you like that? And then since that moment, they went 2-6 and are now bounced out in the first round of the playoffs. That's a real.
So Taylor Swift is to blame for both the Chiefs and the Eagles.
I'm sure some will
present.
I'm sure some will. If Orlovsky doesn't get much traction on the Cowboys thing, he might pivot to that. Either way, someone's got to answer for what happened in Philly. And I don't think it's going to be Jalen Hurts. Jason Kelce already retired. Someone's got to pay that. I don't think Howie Roseman's going down.
So are you saying you think that Nick Sirianni's going to get whacked?
I think McCarthy is got the hottest seat at the moment. I think most would agree with that. I think 2, and closer than you'd think, is Nick Sirianni. They have a really good team, and they fell completely apart.
God.
Someone's got to pay.
They just went to the Super Bowl and the playoffs.
Coach has been fired for less.
I don't really know if we would have an I'm not saying that it's not the case, because somebody may be able to pull an example, but I would really be surprised if you had a coach who just took a team to the Super Bowl and then went to the playoffs the next year and then was fired. Do you have that? I see you leaned in to start scrolling, so I feel like you might you might have an exhibit. No, this is just Dan said everybody the Cowboys need to blow it up, and now I got to re-raise them.
If Orlovsky taught me anything, it's say it, and then if pressed about it,
pivot to different topic.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Listen, I'm not advocating for Sirianni to get whacked. However,
who else would be in play? Sirianni, McCarthy, and who else? There were 6 games.
Browns are saying, obviously, top.
McDaniels, nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying anything in Cleveland. They were thrilled with that. Who else do we have?
McDaniels safe. Tomlin, I know, was a little ornery when asked about his contract.
He didn't get whacked.
No, I wouldn't think that. So if there's 2.
So you came to the table with the lead question so you could do this Sirianni take. That's what this was.
I thought you would agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, you were listening to Theater, and I'd like to apologize. Jackson's a performance artist.
I thought, wait till you hear my take on the Grizzlies. I thought you would have agreed.
Where is that coming? When you and Rocky are doing that podcast?
Yeah, if I find, maybe I'll just elongate the update until Piddle's little segment, and you can't do a damn thing about it. No, I thought you would agree. I thought you would agree that at least his seat's hot.
Well, I mean, like they played less than 24 hours ago. So you're saying for next year?
Yeah.
That's not what you're saying, though.
Well, he can't get retroactively fired.
Right. Well, I mean, what if you're saying, is he going into next year on the hot seat? Or are you saying that he might get fired? I mean, those are 2 different conversations.
At the very least, he's going into next year with a hot seat. I think he is liable to get fired this offseason.
Hey, you don't have to go high-pitched. I mean, if this is what you really believe, then, hey, maybe you'll be right, and I'll tip my cap.
Because
I would think, in general, I would be surprised, although it's probably happened because we're using almost 60 years worth of history, that a coach took a team to a Super Bowl, went to the playoffs the next year, and then was fired. But I don't know what that set of circumstances would have been. Maybe there was something off the field. I don't know.
Yeah, and that could be. I mean, I could give you a case, but it's an off the field thing, and it's not the NFL. But I mean, you can know where I'm going.
Do basketball?
No. Well, I mean, Ime Udoka with the Celtics took him to the finals and was out the next.
But
off the court issues. But I'm just saying it has happened in that sense. And I would agree it'd be very rare to go to a Super Bowl one year, have a rough stretch, and then get fired. But this rough stretch we're talking about, is like historic collapse. Like they went from looking
you're defending the position of do you think he should be fired?
I think something has to happen.
Okay, but that's not.
Well, Jalen Hurts isn't going anywhere, and Howie Roseman has proven that he will do whatever needs to be done to win. And if he thinks,
let me ask you this. Let me just cut to the chase. Are you moving to Philadelphia?
No. Oh, but the times I could have.
And you're hopping mad because the Blues lost to the Flyers last night. You're pissed about it. Excuse me?
Nothing. No, please continue.
And you're taking it out on poor Nick Sirianni.
I think Sirianni, and I have had this take long before the Eagles kind of fell from grace, is kind of...
So you're anti-Italian.
No, it couldn't be further from the truth.
Boy, my wife is going to start...
That couldn't be further from the truth. I love Italians. But Sirianni, to me, has always struck me as, kind of a clown.
Oh my! What is this?
Oh, the yelling at the Chiefs thing. The yelling at the Chiefs thing.
Jalen, a 3-day weekend, I come back, and all of a sudden,
I just think I don't know. I don't think he's great, and I think that
he just was coaching a team in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
49 weeks ago.
We've seen coaches who've coached in the Super Bowl who've turned out to be not that great.
I understand, but you were saying before they even began their slide, they were 10-1, were they not?
Yeah, and listen.
And he had just coached the team in the Super Bowl, and they were 10-1, and you were like, I'm not impressed.
Well, I've always thought like his behavior was kind of clownish. Like the Arrowhead thing is a prime example, screaming at Chiefs fans. Like it's kind of lame.
I agree with that part.
He's had some other moments where it's kind of been like, it's like a little look at me. He's someone look at me.
I would think that'd be great for your generation in social media. It'd be perfect.
You know me.
Not you. I said your generation.
Well, right. But still, people can identify
who would have thought
the tendencies.
Welcome to Balloon Party. Nick Sirianni. He's getting held more accountable on this show than he is at WIP this morning.
Oh, I bet they're hopping mad.
You think they're going after Sirianni?
100%. Him, like, they're not going to go after Hurts. They're not going to go after Roseman. So they're going to go after somebody. It's got to be Sirianni. Someone's got to pay the price. If the after like the Cardinals lose in the playoff series, is the question not what is the status of?
No, I've done this for 25 years, and the answer is no.
Well,
the
Cardinals are a bad example.
So you're using 2005 after they were in the World Series, 2007 after they were in the World Series, 2012 and 2014. Nobody was talking about whacking the manager.
It would be like if in 2009 instead of like the same outcome happens with the Dodgers, but the 30 games beforehand, the Cardinals went like three and 27
at the end of 2009.
Well, I would like to retroactively call for TLR's seat.
Well, you got your wish after he won the World Series the following year.
It's not a bulletproof method I'm talking here, but I'm learning from our loss.
I am telling you. Look at this.
I'm tired of it.
God, I'm like, I could work with Jackson for 20 years. And then all of a sudden you come in with the Sirianni take.
But I truly believe it. I truly believe it.
It's an ambush.
I truly believe it.
I got to get a lie detector in here to see if you truly believe it. Like, you know what I'm going to start with today? I'm going to call for Nick Sirianni's job in St. Louis.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think everyone kind of accepted that McCarthy's probably going to be moving out. And I thought, who's probably next on the hottest of seats? And it's got to be Sirianni.
I mean, perhaps that's correct on a hot seat, but that's different than getting fired.
Well, your seat's got to heat up before you get fired.
Right, I don't know if Mike McCarthy's seat was real hot before Saturday afternoon. You know what I mean?
If you ask a lot of Cowboys fans, that seat's been
but
hot
that's
for a
just
while.
because that's the nature of being the Cowboys coach. But they did have number 2 seed in the NFC?
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni. Wow. You know what would be great entertainment is if he did get fired today.
Yeah.
And you could do victory lap after victory lap.
Oh, my God. I have the biggest smile on my face. And I wish nothing but the best.
I might live stream some Philadelphia Sports Talk Radio, and holy crap on that. Yeah. Because that is phenomenal.
Yep.
And maybe we'll see.
Yep. Credit me.
Yeah. Jackson Burkett in St. Louis is reporting.
At least the seat is hot. It has to be hot.
Your thoughts on Nick Sirianni? Words I never thought I would say. 314-399-9646. The YouTube chat, active as the day is long. They're not on board with this perspective. But you know what, Jackson? Good for you. If you believe it, say it. Now, if you don't believe it,
I do. I really do. I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it.
So you think he should be fired? I'm trying to, because I feel like there's a moving target. You think Nick Sirianni should be fired?
I often don't think coaches are to blame when they get fired. I think a lot of times it's on the GMs. Like if you look at the Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel, for an example. I don't think Vrabel is a bad coach. I don't think he deserves to be fired. I think their GM made some terrible moves, including trading A.J. Brown to the Eagles. I think that was a terrible move, but they're not going to fire themselves, so they often fire coaches. I'm not saying it's the right move to fire Nick Sirianni. I just think inside the Eagles front office, a discussion is I'm speculating, probably happening.
Okay. Do you think he will be fired?
Yeah, you know what? Why not? I mean, I don't have any hard data on it.
God almighty.
But if you've gun to my head,
playing a character in here with me now.
They fired Doug Peterson too. He won a Super Bowl.
He did, but it wasn't back-to-back years.
Yeah, pretty close.
It still counts. God bless America.
Dougie P.
I was like, all right, Jackson will reluctantly start with Philadelphia Flyers and the Blues. Next thing I know, I'm sitting here litigating Nick Sirianni's career. I wasn't prepared for this, to be candid with you.
Well, Flyers and Blues. What do you know?
I know we're late for a break, which is, of course, the brand of Balloon Party. We'll take that break, come back with more Philadelphia Sports Talk Radio here on Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Welcome back to Nick Sirianni Show.
Yeah.
It's 101 ESPN. Jackson, maybe you're going to get your wish. You want this guy out.
I don't necessarily want him out. Because like I said, I think coaches are often fired for wrong reasons. I'm just saying that a conversation should be had.
All right. I went to the Philadelphia Inquirer website during the commercial break, and they want him out.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Well, but they want everybody out there. But either way.
Yeah, because,
We were discussing, somebody said Doug Peterson. You said Doug Peterson, somebody. A ghost was in here.
Yeah, it's me.
Jackson said Doug Peterson during the commercial break. So they played in the Super Bowl in 18, and he was whacked in 21?
In the offseason leading up to 2021.
Okay. So I guess January of 21 probably,
yeah.
I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is year after Super Bowl appearance. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe there's an example, but you're talking about, what Super Bowl are we approaching here?
50-something.
58, 57. That 114 coaches, certainly there's some overlap there where multiple coaches coached the same team in the Super Bowl. And I'd just be curious how many coaches were fired the season after they took their team to the Super Bowl and the playoffs.
Super Bowl 58 we're coming up on.
Super Bowl 58.
Brief aside.
Oh, go ahead.
Why in God's name do we use Roman numerals for the Super Bowl?
This guy is loaded for bear.
We don't use Roman numerals for anything. Literally anything. At least not over 10. And now we're doing it for the Super Bowl just to confuse everybody. Like, why does that get Roman numerals? I can't, for the life of me, understand it. Well, you wear a hat with Roman numerals on it.
That is correct.
Perfect.
I was thinking that.
Perfect. Like, I know them through, 14 because of Air Jordans. Like, Air Jordans was always Roman numerals. But outside of that, it's only the Super Bowl. Strangest thing in the world. I don't get it. And Nick Sirianni, get him out.
What else? I mean, what else? You take a weekend trip down to Memphis and you come back.
Loaded for bear.
Yeah.
Baby. Had one day off.
I mean, I really do feel like it's resume reel day today, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good. Have you picked out a place in Philadelphia? I've been to Philly several times. It's actually where I saw my first NBA game was in Philadelphia.
Let's reminisce.
I like how they have all their stadiums all in one
Did you
area.
see the answer?
Huh? No, I was wearing socks with Allen Iverson on them.
Text in 314-399-9646.
Yeah, wasn't a great introduction. Like Tayshaun Prince was the best player on the floor. Rough years to the Sixers.
Jackson's calling for Nick Sirianni's head. What else do we have coming? I can't wait. I mean, this Little Piddles weekend wrap up. Holy crap. I'm just like, yeah, Blues, tough loss. See the Capitals here the next two games. It's a shame they played, kind of crappy and almost still got away with a point. I was just kind of, and then the next thing I know, I'm on the Sirianni train here.
Yeah, those are my thoughts on the Blues game exactly. So glad we're on the same page on that one. I'll do a little Sadie Hawkins. You can be the
nice.
Little Prince.
Man, you are really, this is resume reel day.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good.
Have you got representation?
I always have representation.
Oh,
baby.
my God.
Yeah. Well, when you go, they'll do. Either way, got a discussion on the Chiefs-Dolphins game, and I got a discussion on Bill DeWitt III's comments at the winter warm-up.
Okay. I will take the latter.
All right.
Which direction, though, are we going here with Bill DeWitt III's comments?
Well, I got some audio.
Yeah, what do we got?
So when I said I have some audio, I have it, but do I have it in
Blues will
front of
take
me?
on the Capitals tomorrow, and you can hear it right here on 101 ESPN. They'll be in the nation's capital, and pre-games at 5 p.m. Blues and Capitals. Little home and home for you. 6 periods of hockey with Alex Ovechkin. And, there's old TJ Oshie. Good to see an old friend once again. And it'll be the Blues and the Capitals as they try to right the ship in our nation's capital. And now here's Jackson's audio that wasn't ready.
Here's Cardinals president Bill DeWitt III talking about the RSN situation upcoming in 2025.
Bill, do you have to be prepared to get your games going independently next season, 2025? Do you have to be prepared to be the independent provider for your games, even if there's the possibility of an MLB kind of group thing? You have to kind of prepare, and the idea that it'll be you reaching out and you'll have to produce them?
Well, if you're a free agent with your rights, like we might be in 2025, there are multiple ways that could go, right? We could do our own network. We could work with MLB and have it be MLB-led effort with a basket of MLB teams that are out in the marketplace getting distribution collectively. There could be another third party that emerges. I mean, there's been rumors of the big boys in the bankruptcy auction court, right?
Yeah.
I mean, coming in and saying, maybe we'll buy these rights, in which case you'd have an intermediary again to deal with. Instead of Bally's, maybe it's someone else. So there are multiple scenarios out there that could play out, and we need to be ready for all of them. Probably if we're ready to do it ourselves, then we're ready for anything. That's sort of my philosophy.
I share his sentiment. I agree with it. In other words, if they're preparing it to do their own network, then they will be prepared to field the variety of different possible offers, i.e. MLB taking it in-house, i.e. MLB partnering with potentially Amazon. As was talked about, Amazon was being solicited by Diamond Sports, Bally's parent, and then MLB's like, we're not going to approve that. Why do we need Diamond Sports in the middle to get this together? We can just go and do business with with Bally's with Amazon ourselves. And then if the Cardinals were to do a Yes Network, SNY, marquee network is the Cubs. Any other networks that I'm leaving out for teams?
I feel like Boston might have
Nesson?
Yeah,
but I feel like they split. They also have Bruins and the Celtics on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would think that
it's a rare moment of NBA relevance on this program where you could have jumped in and further bolstered this resume reel that I'm a part of today.
But are the Yankees? Is that
That's the Yes Network.
That's exclusively Yankees games, or they don't have?
I know on SNY it was Mets and Jets, but they're not carrying Jets games, of course.
Got it.
But that was their station. So in New York, if you're a Yankees fan, you tend to be a Giants fan. If you're a Mets fan, you tend to be a Jets fan. So they pair them together.
Yeah.
Why did you make that head movement with me there?
Well,
what was that about?
Like my uncle, a New York guy, is a Giants and a Mets.
Wow.
Knicks and Islanders. Yeah.
Wow, what a parlay that is.
Everyone in New York's just a Knicks fan. That's a given.
Yeah,
but
the Nets haven't carved into the market yet.
But there's it's kind of all over the place with who you're a fan of.
Are you about to transition into your trip to Memphis and seeing the Knicks?
No. Nope. I feel like I've done my work today.
I do too.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm working with a different guy.
Yeah. I feel like I should just leave.
It's like Mike and the Mad Dog all of a sudden.
Because I floated the idea that maybe Sirianni should get canned, or at least the discussion should happen.
That's now you're couching it a little bit. I think you might get your wish.
Yeah, if it happens,
you'll be the greatest.
Oh my God,
be the greatest.
Yeah, I'll be the first. You'll see me on Twitter.
I'm gonna screenshot all the texts.
Yeah. And
by the way, I owe you money for your.
That's right.
Texans.
The Texans game.
What did we bet?
20.
I lost money this weekend.
You want to parlay it into next week? Go double or nothing on that game?
Double or nothing is different than parlay, but
I just use words, and sometimes they work, and sometimes they don't.
This was a case of the latter.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
All right. Well, let me take a look, and I'll see. I really like the Texans.
See, I like the Buccaneers this weekend, but I really want the Lions to win.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Even if it's for our nickel and dime crap.
I can't. I really want to see it. The value on Lions beating the Texans in the Super Bowl is really, really good.
Oh, I can give you that. Producer Joe,
Plus
former
8,000.
producer of. Is that what the number is? Oh,
for that exact.
Matchups.
Yes, for the Lions to beat the Texans is plus 8,000.
My thought on the whole thing is, I think the 49ers and the Raiders, this is negative Evie. It's like, just don't do this. Once you do this long enough, you know not to do predictions. But this is how I feel, so whatever. I don't really. I think the Ravens and the 49ers are in their own little worlds, you know?
I definitely think so on the Ravens.
That it's kind of,
Yeah, and the Niners.
Listen, I want to see the Lions so badly.
Oh, me too. Both those teams are so well rested. They both sat their starters in the final week of the season, and now they're going to have 3 weeks off, while all these other teams are probably coming in battled and bruised from cold weekends. Maybe not the Packers, obviously, but yeah, I could definitely see where they just dominate. But I like the Texans. I like the Texans a lot.
All right. So what? I get the Ravens?
Yeah.
All right, that's the bet.
All right, there it is.
What's the number? Just straight up, right?
I'm going to have to take I bet that number is at, I'm getting a bad number because the Texans played really well against the Browns. I bet 7.5.
Well, we'll use the number, not the one that you're setting. Maybe you got better. You might have a better line than that. You might get like 8.5.
I hope. I think that 8.5
I know that the Packers 49ers is 10. I know that.
Doesn't have that.
And I think the Chiefs are getting 2.5 or 3.5 in Buffalo. That's the smallest spread. So you're somewhere in between there. What was your question that got this whole thing going? Oh, Bill, God, I have a lot of thoughts on this.
It's 9. The number is 9.
All right, there you go. You got another 1.5. He expounded on this and talked about these major markets that have these networks, i.e. New York and Chicago. And can the Cardinals position themselves, because of course there are way more subscribers in those markets, being much bigger markets. Now, I honestly don't know the numbers, and I know no one listening, well, maybe if Bill DeWitt III is listening, and I think he is, he knows the numbers, but I would really be curious what it looks like for the Cardinals, the risk on this thing, the expense to do it, and then what their projections would be for revenue, and then how would it work? What would would it be a one-off like your Netflix and Hulu? Mm-hmm. Or would it be part of would they start using Channel 11 again as a direct to, but then that's only for games, that's not for the Cardinal network. The Cardinals could show like Cardinal 30 for 30s and past Cardinal games, and then, like Cardinal, I don't know, for lack of a better term, sports talk, although it'd be tough because, it's the late, great Joe Strauss would say, be rights holder festival.
That'd be the real balloon party.
Right. Yeah, that's where balloon party comes from.
But like rain delay programming, like stuff that they do during rain
with
delays.
Wizard.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
And Andy Bennis.
Yeah, sometimes you're like,
Andy Beans.
I was like, keep the tarp on the field. We got good stuff right here.
Like, I would love that.
Yeah.
I don't know, because St. Louis the Cardinal fan base is not the metropolitan area. It's much, much bigger than that.
Yeah. Speaking of Memphis down there, Cardinals are big.
Absolutely.
Cardinals
Even if Nashville
big.
Gets an expansion team, which I think they will, I still think the Memphis fans will be Cardinal fans.
Up to Nebraska, man. It's a wide swath.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'd love to see it. Another thing that he floated were the Blues and Cardinals getting into business together.
That's the one that interests me the most. Just because.
Why is that? Because you've been pretty transparent with your thoughts on ice hockey.
Yeah, I can still assess the value of it and increased value when you add them into it. Plus,
it's like taking on a partner, having the whole thing yourself.
Yeah, I get that.
Greater upside, all while reducing your risk if you take on a partner.
But we talk about these other major cities having bigger subscriber bases. So I guess a way to circumvent that is adding another team in there, adding more and more reasons to subscribe instead of, because you can't add more people.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, I think
it's great. 1 o'clock on a Thursday, and I'm working from the basement. Oh, there's Patty Maroon's goal past Ben Bishop, and it's a Jim Dandy sending the Blues to the conference finals.
He took the words right out of my mouth.
I believe that was the call. All right, Jackson. Well, I'm on board. I like to hear it. Here. I will give you a bottom line take, and this is an actual take, although it's pretty basic, but yeah. I firmly believe it to be true. Unlike the Orlowski Theater of the first segment,
it'll pale in comparison.
Baseball fans, specifically Cardinal fans, will be in a much better place for watching games on television 14 months from now. And you know what? I'll go social media on you. Full stop. ... Yep. So that is good news. Yeah. We got one more year of this nonsense, and then it'll be good next year. And I'll be able to watch a game on YouTube TV or on my phone and not worry about the app, crashing.
Yeah, well, Mike Schultz still has comments from 21.
He does. When I go to watch postgame, there's Mike Schultz, and I go, mother, he hasn't been on the... All right, Jackson, we'll take a break, come back with more of Balloon Party here on 101 ESPN. New sponsor here on Balloon Party. Welcome aboard the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you got to call the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Their modern, durable tubs and showers are designed with an exclusive high-tech polymer liner. What that means to you is it'll be low maintenance, resistant to mold and mildew, easy to clean, and it will last for decades. Plus, it comes with a lifetime warranty. Walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversions, and more. Every unit is custom built. You pick the premium accents and accessories, including safety features like low-profile showers, grab bars, and shower seats. Call today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. You're their priority at the Bath Authority. Just go online at thebathauthority.com. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. It's thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits.
This is Action Jackson with a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues will be back in action on Thursday night as they take on the Capitals. You can catch that game right here at Home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 5 p.m. and the puck drops at 6 p.m. And last night in the NBA, the Philadelphia 76ers defeat the Rockets 124-115. Joel Embiid back and healthy, 41 points. That was another SportsCenter update. Driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
What is Jackson going to be mad about in this segment? First, it was Nick Sirianni. Then it was Roman numerals. Can't wait to hear what we got here in segment 3 of Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Always go back and podcast via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's podcast app, the 101 ESPN app, and you can watch us on YouTube, as many people are, including that Tiny PP and Eric Nickens, youtube.com, and it's the 101 channel, Jackson. That's where you can watch us, and you can see you look cute. I feel like I'm classically handsome.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I'm cute anymore. You can't be 47 and cute.
You're more stoic.
Seriously?
Yeah, regal.
I guess I am regal.
King-like.
Speaking of which, Chairman Stephen Wildwood left a mic drop, and I'm not sure what he's not happy about. I just know he's not happy about something either. Let's take a listen.
Quite the weekend. Winter warm-up downtown, lots of NFL, couple of Blues games. Stop it! You can't even watch the NFL game! Peacock! What the heck is that? Do I have to go to Grant's Farm to watch the game? Why don't you do this? Show the game on Andy Reid's fat ass, and then we can all see it. And what's with these officials? Jesus, you miss every damn call. And they're so cold, it looks like they're gonna die out there. Why don't you just have somebody up above the stadium looking at every call and making it remotely? We got technology. This is 2024. Why are games decided by some old-ass white guy who can't even get up and down the field? And what's the media in this town doing? Running down to Memphis to watch the NBA? We don't even have the NBA. You should be down at the winter warm-up asking questions, going to the baseball writers' dinner. Maybe you'll learn something from those guys, Piddles. Tired of it.
My God. I thought he was going to pass right in the middle of that call.
Yeah, the Memphis thing really seemed to get him out of sorts. I can understand the Peacock problems.
He hit an octave that like only dogs could hear, and then the second syllable of Peacock.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's, I hope he's all right.
27 million watched on Peacock on Saturday night.
That's right.
It was what was it called by the New York Post? The most watched streaming game ever?
The most streamed event in American history.
In American internet history.
Yeah.
Like they were using internet history.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't imagine anything having more views concurrently.
Ella Reese, Brazzers debut.
She just got focus.
I agree with you on that. Jackson, do you have a third question, or are you still focused on this Sirianni Roman numerals bit?
Bit right there. Just a touch. It felt a little bit like you slammed me. Just a little bit. Either way, I got a question about Peacock.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
well, perfect segue.
It's like we're playing Jeopardy then.
Yeah.
I already have given the answer.
Well, 23 million viewers.
He's just going to go forward with it.
I don't give a damn. Which easily covers, if you were to say 23 million times 6, it would cover the $110 million price tag.
Well, that would be
NBC
operating on the premise that everybody was new business, but
Right.
they had advertising as well.
and people who don't cancel.
Exactly right, which is the recurring revenue model
Yes.
for 2024.
It's like, we'll
Going
get
back
you
to
in.
Brazzers again.
Yeah, boy, so many parallels to Brazzers so far.
Amen.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, you have The Office and Parks and Rec. Maybe I'll keep this old Peacock thing. And there's Peacock. There's NBC Universal smoking their cigars, Ivory Towers. Not me, common man. I didn't buy it.
Proletariat, meat and
That's right.
potatoes guy. Now you're meat and potatoes guy.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Now you're taking my act.
I'm taking down Sirianni, I'm taking down Roman numerals, and I'm taking down Peacock, except they probably made like $50 million on it, and that will be just the future.
Right.
So my question is, do you find this as a huge win for the hashtag shift to stream movement, or do you think it was a product of a must-see matchup in wild conditions?
Boy, I'll tell you, I agree certainly with the basis for your second question, because I know you and I were emotionally invested in the Browns and Texans. I don't know if the country would have had 27 million if it were the Browns and Texans. So the fact that Peacock got the Chiefs and the Dolphins was a big part of that. Another thing, and Mad Dog, now that we're Mike and the Mad Dog.
That's right.
Along with what? Piddles and the Chud?
That's right. That's new DBA.
Is Mad Dog was on Andrew Marchand's sports media podcast last week, and they would always set over-unders for ratings back when he was working with Francesa, and he would always, or maybe Francesa would talk, well, what's the weather going to be like in Philly this weekend? Because then, if you know the weather's going to be bad, it increases the chance of people staying in and watching games. So he's right. So Peacock got a huge break that most of the United States was just frozen inside.
Yeah.
Plus, you get the Taylor Swift effect. Plus, you get the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, Tua.
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks, yes, indeed. And then you get the Chiefs and defending Super Bowl champions with Mahomes and Kelsey. Perfect storm for Peacock, and all it's going to do is lead to more games like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and honestly, is there anything than being warm inside the comfort of your home and watching other people freeze their ass off? Like, I think there's something to that. Like, boy, I really want to watch this game because of how cold it is. I mean, boy, it was minus 30 on the field.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
When they would breathe, it was like billows of air coming out.
Let me tell you I lost money story, because people like that. You tell when I won money story, nobody wants to hear it.
Bad.
Thank you.
Bad.
So I loved the Browns in general on Saturday. We had our little wager. I threw a small taste on it, something that would mean a lot to a guy like you.
Rounding error.
Right. Rounding error. But a small taste for me.
Sure.
Well, I forget about it.
Yeah.
And then I see Laramie Tunsil goes down. Were you watching this? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know who he is?
Oh, yeah. I remember
goalie for the Flyers.
No, I remember when he got drafted. There was some,
so you do.
There was some strategic, possibly. I don't know anything. I'm speculating, but there might have been some strategy of what's going on there.
The
Ole
gas
Miss?
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, hotty toddy, good God almighty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. Now they're going to have her backup going up against Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I said to my wife, I said, I have a fiduciary responsibility to this family and our trust.
And you said Barzini's a pimp. You could have never taken down Sonny.
To invest in the Cleveland Browns. And then what did she do? What she always does, roll her eyes.
Right.
I fired a live bet. And we didn't even get a sweat out of the whole thing.
No. Poor Joe Flacco was.
So then, because of me going, what happened to my instincts? I go, well, there's no way in the world the Chiefs-Dolphins goes over. So therefore, the play is under. But because I was so off on the Browns thing, I go the over on the Chiefs-Dolphins, and I don't get a sweat out of that. And now my family is looking to find a wealthy Ledoux family in which to verbo.
Yeah, well, we can give you some cheaper rates.
Thank you. So, yes, I faded myself. You played yourself.
Yeah, DJ Khaled.
Amen.
So resonant, yeah.
Now, on the other side of a wagering story, and this is not mine, I didn't share it on TMA because I wanted your live reaction. So switch on over to YouTube because Jackson knows this guy. I'm not going to give the name, of course. But you've gone out on the golf course with me and gambled with this gentleman. And he is easily my favorite to gamble with because we kind of have a similar thought process. Even if mathematically we shouldn't do it, we will do it, and it screws with our opponents' heads. Now they get, oh my God, these two morons are doing this. They're pressing here. He doesn't care. When Grayson Murray, most of you have no idea who Grayson Murray is, and I understand that. He won the golf tournament in Hawaii this weekend on the PGA Tour. Got into a playoff and sunk a 38-foot putt in order to win the tournament, and then Ben Ahn missed a 4-footer. So we're talking about the math on these things happening. Yeah. He hits that 38-footer maybe 1.5 out of 100. Ben Ahn misses the 4-footer maybe 10 out of 100 times.
Maybe. My
guy won $50,000 on that hit.
Oh, wow.
50. That isn't me. I'm taking out multiple mortgages because the Browns and the Chiefs under whatever the hell I lost on.
Laramie Tunsil.
My guy won $50K.
Jeez, I couldn't imagine that sweat.
I said, what were you going more crazy for when he hit the 38-footer when Ben Ahn missed the putt? And he goes the putt. Because, he's out of the tournament. He's out of the tournament right there.
Right, because he hit the putt before Ben Ahn
That's
even
correct.
took a stroke.
Right.
Yeah. Boy. Yeah, once that happens.
I was going to text you. I was going to say, hey, switch over, but I thought you were like in Memphis or whatever.
What time
you're
would this have
doing.
been? Sunday?
So
around?
Sunday night, like at 6, 7 o'clock. I don't know. I'm probably me and this guy are the only guys in St. Louis watching this tournament. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, I hope he can. I'm like, 38-footer, poor guy. And then he sinks it and he Torrey Pines the fist pump. And then On misses the four. And then in On's takeaway, I'm like, ooh, that was a little
Shaky.
Scotty Scheffler, Stuart Sinky.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he misses it, pushes it, didn't even touch the hole, missed a 4-footer. 50,000.
Man.
So I hit him up and I'm paying 4 points on it after the Chiefs thing.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's reason. I think it's
you'll
a
get
good
it back.
move.
You'll get it back on this
P&L.
Ravens play.
That's right. I'm about to get paid $20. All right, we got a break. This is Balloon Party. Back to Jackson's resume reel day. Where is he going? Is he going to Philadelphia? God, they have Embiid there. Did you have a sit down with him on your first show?
I would love to sit down with Joel Embiid. Do like a really long form. Talk about everything.
Jackson, we have about 2.5 minutes left because of your clock management.
So do you want me to spend that on Joel Embiid's 31-month recovery?
You and Rocchio can do that on your podcast. Let's go with one final question from this Little Piddles weekend wrap-up.
Sure, quick hitter. Back to Philly. The Eagles are one of the most fascinating downfalls we have seen in recent memory. Do any local teams across history strike you as a similar to the Eagles' fall from grace, where they were great?
Am I missing? Did something happen with the Philadelphia Eagles that I did not know about?
They fell apart unlike I've ever seen.
Well, no. The Patriots started out 10-1, and they lost in the first round of the playoffs 4 years ago. I think the Chiefs might have had something similar to that as well.
Chiefs this year would actually be a pretty decent example of it.
And they're coming off of an NFC championship. I think you're too hard on my guy Sirianni.
I don't think I'm hard enough. I think if you ask Philly fans, I'm being soft.
Oh, I know. You play real well there today. I just don't like the fall from grace.
They were Super Bowl favorites halfway through the season.
I understand, but fall from grace. I mean, the Cowboys, I can't believe it. We're doing Orlovsky, Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless here.
Yeah, that's my grand plan.
You've backed me into a corner to take the side of these actors.
Yeah. And
by the way, can
please.
Philadelphia's terrible. Fine. Here's halftime of the Packers and Cowboys. I'm looking for an Ella Reese update. She's got to
from Tarico.
She's got to know on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
She's got to focus.
Yeah, boy.
She's leaving a lot of putts out there. I'm just telling you. But either way, so I go on Instagram. My wife laughs at me. If I go in there to use the little wizard's room, you got to take your phone with you I got 30 seconds to kill. I want to see what Ella Reese is doing.
Sure.
And what pops up in my feed, Stephen A. Smith is acting in his bed with a smirk on his face because the Cowboys are losing.
Yeah.
And I go, that's what this industry is now. Is that what we do?
I love Stephen A. Smith, and he can do no wrong.
So why don't you, when the Blues are losing, now that the Blues fans hate you anyway, why don't you, giggle on Instagram and TikTok? You know, just to troll. Because isn't that the whole...
Yeah.
But that's the gig. And then he's making 12, 15 million a year.
It seems like a cause and effect
thing. This is really
thing.
kind of ABC poker we can play here.
I'm trying to get paid.
So, I guess that's what we should do.
Yeah, I can giggle after Blues losses.
So, the Blues lose last night, and here's Jackson in his...
Would you rather have the Grizzlies, St. Louis?
I went to journalism school to do this stupid-ass business.
Yeah, well, egg on your face.
I know! And now it's just hold up your phone and, troll people.
Yeah. Like I said, if Orlovsky speaks, the world listens.
God. I need to go Tony Soprano and take some peyote and look out into the abyss.
Yeah.
And really think about this between now and tomorrow. Because if Sirianni gets fired...
Oh, my God. You want to talk about giggling. I'll be on this damn show saying I want apologies from each and every one of yous.
All right, this has been Jackson's Resume Reel. We'll be live on QFTA this afternoon. Tim McKernan Show podcast. It's youtube.com/TMASTL. Follow TMASTL, and it'll get tweeted out in the TMA fan page on Facebook. All right, Jackson, what a wonderful presentation it was. Who are you? Who have you become? What are you? You're like Bud Fox in Wall Street. Who am I? What have I become? That's what's going on with you today.
I'm legitimately sweating through my shell jacket right now. I'm like a greased pig over here.
Clip that off. Time for us to go. BK and Ferrari are up next for Jackson Burkett. I'm Tim McKernan. This has been Balloon Party, driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota on 101 ESPN, the 101 ESPN YouTube channel. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, presenting sponsor of Balloon Party on 101 ESPN and the 101 ESPN YouTube channel, and the place I go to get my family's cars, the place I recommend you go as well, because right now they have an incredible selection of new car inventory on their lot. I was just out there last Wednesday night, got my car serviced. They do such wonderful work. They're such great people. And it used to be when you had an automotive need, you're thinking to yourself, oh, goodness, now I got to